Hi guys, welcome to yet another speed build. Today we are building a Victorian summer home. I'm not sure how historically accurate it ends up being, but I did my best. I really like the Victorian style and I wanted to build on this beach lot by the ocean in Windenburg again. It's one of my favorite lots to build on and, to be honest, to play on as well. So yeah, we are doing a Victorian style house. It's a small one, it's not like a huge mansion. It's supposed to be a summer house. The family would spend their summers here and they would have another home like in the city or something like that. But it's still like pretty fancy. They have quite a lot of money, I imagine, and there is everything you need. At this point, I wasn't sure yet if I wanted to do the interior modern or like contemporary, or if I wanted to do that in the Victorian style as well. I end up going for the Victorian style, and it's always very challenging to make like historic builds, or like it's not hard to do historic builds, it's hard to furnish them because we do not have the like things specifically meant for that, which I totally get. But it's a fun challenge, but it's also often pretty frustrating, but I think I did an okay job. Yeah. So in this house there will be 2 bedrooms in the main house, and then there will be a separate like house for the butler or any like servants who would be working for this family in the game. It would be a butler most likely, and there is an indoor bathroom and toilets. I'm not sure if that would be a thing in a house like this, but we really do not have any other way to get there. Well, we have the bush toilets, but like that's not very accurate either. Like I think you had like water toilets at this point. I'm just wondering if it would be common in your summer house or in the countryside. I don't think so. But anyway, partly I wanted to build this, well, also just because I love this kind of houses, but also for practice because I'm really hoping to do a decades build series at some point. I've talked about this before. I watched the one made by Irrelevant Sims and I really enjoyed it. I loved all the builds she did and I also learned a lot. She knew so much about history and I'm not like aiming to be as informative or as historically accurate as her builds were or her videos were, but I don't think I'm like completely off. I know some things. I know that this is a late Victorian styled home or house, and I know it has the like main components kind of right. I don't know if all of it is right, and I quite frankly don't care. Like if I do a series, I will want to research that a bit more, but to be honest, it's the Sims. It's not supposed to be 100% accurate, although sometimes, of course, it's a fun challenge to try and do that. Yeah, I'm particularly proud of how the like roofing turned out because roofing is still hard. Like even if we got those new roofing things and I've been like building for many years, roofing is still hard for me, but I really like how this ends up being. We have these 2 kind of rooftops. One is this rectangular and then there's this I don't know these words in English, but I use a few different fences on the roof there to give it a little bit more definition and character, and I think it ends up looking very nice. It gives the building a very nice silhouette and look from the outside. Unfortunately, I couldn't make the third floor livable. I was trying to see here if I could fit like stairs that would go into the roof, but it wouldn't let me do that. But it's fine. Yeah, so like I said, I imagine this is a summer home for quite a wealthy family, and I have planned the interior so that they would always have servants to like make things for them. Like the kitchen is separate from the house kind of, and there's a back entrance to it. So I imagine that only the servants would be using the kitchen and like preparing the food for the people who actually live here. It's so weird to say this, but that's how it would have been in the late 19th century. If you were rich, you would have like some kind of servants, I guess. Yeah, and here I'm trying to see if I can add some more roof details, but it didn't work out. Here I sized up that vampire's fountain. I was actually imagining like because like in old buildings sometimes there's like a fountain like that outside, and it's meant like originally it's meant for horses and other animals to drink from it. And I think it's very cool. We have a couple of those in my city as well. They have not, of course, been used in many years, and they're like sealed off. But they look nice, and I like the idea that only like 100 and some more years ago you would have horses, and you would have to consider horses in the architecture and the like planning. Yeah. I'm a bit of a history nerd. I don't know, like I said, too much about history, but I love hearing about it and reading about it. I've studied like some art history and like architecture. So, and those are very interesting topics. Like I would love to know more. I just don't have the like motivation to learn by myself if I don't have any specific goal, but let's see, hopefully I can one day start the build series I was talking about, and that would maybe motivate me to do some research on the topic as well. And we are using only like gas lights and candles because again I'm not sure, but I think at this point like if you were rich you would have gas lights, and if you weren't you wouldn't have like electricity at all and stuff like that, and there are no electronic devices in this house, so it's quite historically accurate. I tried my best to make it as like the 1800, what is how do you say, like the late 19th century looking. I tried my best anyway. Yeah, so here's the kitchen. It's very small and kind of dark, and it's just meant for like working. It's not fancy, it's not big, it's meant for like just a couple of servants making food there and then serving it to the dining room probably. Yeah, we use, and there's also this cellar basement thing where I imagine they would store food. I did give this house a fridge because again there are no alternatives for that really that are more historically accurate, so I just gave them the old-fashioned fridge. And I'm using a lot of stuff from vampires and combining it with some base game stuff and I think vintage glamour stuff here and there, but very much vampires because it's very Victorian era inspired, and with the right color swatches you can make that stuff look really elegant and nice, and it's a great pack. Like all of these windows, doors, columns, and the wallpaper in this room are from that, as well as the chairs, I think. Yeah, all of it. Like almost all of the furniture is from there, and it doesn't look like too vampire-y, I think. I think it looks nice. Um, oh yeah, I cut most of the like putting in the staircase. I cut that out apparently. I was again really struggling with it. I would have liked an L-shaped staircase, but it's not possible yet. But I think it ends up being quite okay. What was really frustrating is that those vampires like build items. Some of them come in 8 swatches and some of them only in 7. So when I was trying to match everything, the exact color that I would have wanted was the one missing from like the spandrel, I think, and maybe something else, that I was so annoyed. And here I put in a couple of fireplaces. I put one downstairs, 2 later, because I would also imagine that there is no heating in this home or house, that they would heat the place up by keeping the fireplaces lit. Of course, this is a summer home, so most probably they wouldn't even need heating all of the time. But I think it's very it would be realistic to have multiple fireplaces in a home like this. This is the master bedroom. It's quite pink. I think it's nice, and it has this kind of living room, kind of reading room or sitting room separated next to it, and there will be a kids bedroom, and then just I think a piano in the landing upstairs. Here I was trying to find like trees to put in, but in the end I decided not to put any in because it's such beachy lot, like there aren't many big trees around, and I felt like it just didn't fit. And I included quite a lot of the landscaping until it started getting really repetitive, and I didn't record some of it, but here I just put another seating area in the yard because, like, you could imagine if this was a summer home, you would want to spend time outside, and we use one of these statues from vampires, and I was trying to find a fountain to go in this build, but it ended up being just too flashy. Like, it's, yeah, the house is supposed to be flashy, but it's still supposed to be, like, for the people that own it, it's not a flashy home. For them, it's a very casual house. I think they are rich like that. This one will be a separate building. Like, this separate building will have a room for the butler or the servant, and then a bathroom. Because I realized like a bit too late that I didn't make room in the actual house for a bathroom, although I could have put it in because I ended up using like quite contemporary bathroom stuff anyway, so it didn't really matter. But it's outside. I think it's a bit more realistic that you would have to go to take a bath in this separate building. I don't know, but that's how I imagine things would go. And this room is for the butler. It's very, very basic and very not flashy. Like, they still have everything they need, and they like, I don't think they are being neglected necessarily, but they're not, they're still a servant, I guess. So it's just a very basic room. And this will be the bathroom. So this is the only bathroom. There is a half bath in the upstairs with the master bedroom. but this is the only place with a bathtub in it. And yeah, I went with a bathtub. I felt like that was more accurate than a shower, but I do put in a toilet and a sink and all that stuff. And I don't know, I think it's quite accurate, but I'm not sure. And I also put in some seed. I can't remember quite which one I end up going with, and this separator. What's that thing called? I need to look that up because I always forget. But yeah, anyway, very simple, very basic. And here I ended up deleting one of the windows in the living room because I really felt like the room needed a fireplace, like a Victorian era living room without a big fireplace just felt a bit weird. So and the window was to the back of the house, so it wasn't that important, I guess. And yeah, this living room is a very weird shape. It was hard to furnish, but I think it's fine in the end. And also because it was supposed to be like no electricity kind of thing, like I couldn't put down the usual things you would put in a contemporary living room, so I just end up putting in a lot of side tables, to be honest. But I think it's fine, and I think it would really suit the family that would live here. They could entertain guests, and yeah, oh god, that feeling when you accidentally rotate a whole room, that is horrible. And yeah, here I moved the door to put in another seating area. To be honest, like I'm not sure if I could do a bigger Victorian build because already I had to put in so many seating areas with no actual purpose to them. It's very interesting though. I really like the challenge of imagining what it would be like and what would actually be possible to have in your house. Yeah, here we put in an easel on the porch, and we put a grand piano upstairs. There was a lot of space and we didn't really need anything, so I felt like that would be a good hobby for the people living here, like possibly the child could learn to play piano because this is a kid's bedroom. It's very well it's very Victorian, I guess. I don't really know like what did kids do then? Like it was like late enough for them not to work, but still early enough that I have no idea what they would do in their free time. And later, I also tried to find something to do, like in the yard, but there was just nothing that was accurate enough for me. Um, I was considering putting in swings or something like that, but even those just looked too modern. Here I am in the yard again. I would have had the CC piece, the tree swing by Kalina, I think. That would have fit. I will probably add that in my own game, but because this build was otherwise CC free, I didn't want to add that. Here it was. It's a very great CC item. So it's just the season's swing, but it's hanging from this big tree. So it's really cute, and I do this pathway all around the lot. Just a little tiny pathway. And we are closing to the end now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I wasn't like completely wrong about the things I said. But if you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and leave your comments and suggestions down below, and I will see you very soon, and bye bye.